I want to know about ethical business for EarthStars. I see a very cheesy looking happy little green earth. Like over exaggerated, like the whole earth is a park. Trees, deciduous, reaching out of the earth's atmosphere, and grass as tall as buildings, kind of like a cartoon. See a little person strolling through the neighborhood on a sidewalk, the lawn's mowed, and everything's kind of pleasant. No, everything's very pleasant. There's a man walking a dog. People on park benches, and here running water nearby. At first, this seemed kind of like a over obvious cheesy symbol, but I'm starting to feel that we could actually create communities like this along fresh running water, living spending a lot of time in green spaces, other humans around. It doesn't mean have to be all together, tra la 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 la, and all this, but there's human friendly acknowledgement, and there's a sense that everybody's in on it together, everybody's pulling the first word that came was cog, but got some negative perceptual connotations to cog, but there's an interdependence here. Interdependence with the humans, the animals, the water, the land. It's not like overly wild and natural tree people, but people are around each other and they're working together to keep this space and make this space and build this space and use this space and maintain this space. And there is something very significant about being near fresh running water. Like these communities will be built along rivers, streams. It doesn't mean living without convenience or even things. It's just a partnership with each other and our resources, which we don't even see as resources anymore. It's all part of the problem. That perception that our family around us that has a different form than us, or even the ones that are human as well, we see them as resources. We even call the departments that manage the people human resources department. We don't even think anything of it. There's not so much about the ethics of business, or how policies are made or carried out. Any of this, and there's no images of smokestack buildings or anything like that, even in the distance. But what is important here is the shift in relationality, that everyone understands that everything is connected, and they align with their role in this connectivity, happily enjoy in the way that they can contribute best. And this is a big part of why people are happy and they experience joy and feel fulfilled and can offer happy, friendly waves as they're jogging by, because they're channeling their energy into who they really are and bringing that unique flavor, transforming it into a way to offer service to the collective. This is how, in this place, they spend the majority of their time. Balance, flow, cooperation. They are not forced externally to do anything. Much less be made to believe that they exist only to make money, collect things, and prepare for end of life. This is all a game, of course. It is built to be one-sided. It is a very clever game, well invested on every level. It is almost impossible to live outside of it, but there are ways to navigate it in order to pierce it, change it by redirecting resources and how they're used, when they're used to nourish, to grow, to spread, to expand. There is a new realization this being has come to recently, which helped bring tremendous relief and sinking into the experience of it. And I realized that the most powerful and loving thing we can do is simply to empower people to see who they are, to know their power, we don't even have to tell them what this looks like or feels like. We can just bring them to the experience. We don't have to impress upon them our ideas or our explanations or interpretations. It's not necessary, and it's really a bit invasive. Everyone has their own interface. And I have learned now that activation and the change comes from allowing people, encouraging people, offering pathways and presence to show people who they are beyond this third dimensional experience where our range of perception is tremendously larger than we think as a culture, than we've been taught. Narrowing in to only perceive through our third dimensional perception has allowed us to be convinced by cheap fear tactics and scare tactics to manage us, manage our choices, manage what we put in our bodies, manage our ability to discern compassion from persuasion. New business is about understanding that we don't create jobs to create jobs. We pour our energy into expanding consciousness in whatever way we were here, brought here, incarnated here, chose to be birthed into this world to do. We're not here to clock in and clock out for a small percentage of what our time and energy is really worth. We have been conditioned to believe that we don't have control of our time and our energy. And this is very purposeful, very intentional. And we are spent by the end of our days, stuck in the loop. I used to call it a hamster wheel. And this is drained, sucked, harnessed, and harvested energy from us by entities which have very little awareness of who we are, what our needs are. It is a system of domination, a system of exploitation, a system of weaponization. There are too many atrocities happening now in the corporations of the planet. Large, consuming. There is space now to begin building a new economy. It does not require quitting our jobs first or going out and starting a new business or any of the like. It starts with shifting our focus, recognizing who we are and what we're here to do, the value of our time and energy, universal measurement, if there were such a thing. It is about shifting the mentality from competition to cooperation, from interdependence and symbiotic relationship over harvesting resources. The earth does not belong to us, who are doing as we please. When we can begin to understand the interconnectivity, the interconnectedness of our existence here in this physical plane and every plane. And that's when we will have the awareness to make the choice to live within the flow of reciprocity, to become a beneficial and emanating and nourishing beam and being on this planet. One where our very living and moving through the world extends nourishment, service, awareness, activation, support, whatever is our role here. It's time to check in, ask ourselves who we are underneath the need for money. And when we can begin to tap into that part of ourselves, and that's when we will have the awareness to begin to build the new economy. That is all.